Sumner later moved up to AAA ranks and won that title in '77. In 1975, the Sumner Spartans won the AA title, beating West Valley of Spokane 11-0. And then West Valley of Spokane turned around and stepped a notch up by beating Hoquiam to win the state AA crown 30-21. In 1977, who will ever forget it? Burlington 57, Peninsula 30. Larry Lunke, will you ever forget it?
I'll never forget it. All right.
And you'll never forget last year either.
That was a better game.
A 35-34 Peninsula Pullman game as Larry Lunke's team was runner-up in '77, state champions in '78, semifinalists in '79. And Larry, you've seen both Arlington and Mark Morris. How do you rate the game?
I rate the game a toss-up. I saw Mark Morris last Friday night over in Yakima. They beat a really super Pullman team. And then we played Arlington Saturday night, and they're both the same type of teams. Both have super fullbacks who both have run over 1,500 yards, and then both the tailbacks are around 1,000. So they're both a run team.
Well, there you see the Arlington Eagles, who are in the white with the purple and gold trim, and they are being introduced here as the starting lineups for Kingbowl 3 are about set to get underway, and it's time for us to ask head coach Jim McCavany of Arlington about his season record, which is 10-2, and there you see it on the screen. Monroe beat Arlington in the opener, 13-7. And then it was Seaholm beating Arlington 35-6 in the 6th game of the season. But those particular losses were all that Arlington managed during the years. They then won 6 football games in a row. And you see them on your screen there, the 10-2 record of the Arlington Eagles, and those were the first 6 games. Then they came on to beat Mount Vernon 32-21, blank Lake Stevens 30-0, down Bellingham 21-6. Then Cleveland of Seattle 38-7, Ferndale's unbeaten team 28-0, and then Peninsula with a 21-point outburst in the second half in that 24-23 semifinal. So now let's take a look at the Mark Morris record. The Monarchs are 9-3, beating R.A. Long, then losing to Kelso by a 19-13 count. Wamping's Chehalis beating Prairie, Centralia, and then losing a 30-20 decision to Campbell. Crosstown rival R.A. Long went down, as you see, and then moving on with that, they lost to Tumwater 22-6, but from that point on, they were all winning. Nipping Battleground by 2, and then with great offense scoring 30, 34, 40, and 34 points in their last 4 games. And so the stage is about set here at the Kingdome now for the Arlington and Mark Morris games. And let's take a look right now at the starting lineup for Mark Morris.
Mark Fisher, center, junior. Dan Kohler, guard, senior. Phil Walker, guard, and a senior. Tim Moore, tackle, and a senior. Greg Bergen, the tackle, and a senior. Kevin Bogner, tight end, and a junior. Ted Campbell, split end, and a senior. Rob Poole, flanker, and a senior. Alan Peterson, fullback, senior. Tony Yazetta, tailback, junior. Sam Tilton, quarterback, junior. Phil Walker, defensive end, and a senior. Jim Savint, defensive end, and a senior. Dave Harlan, defensive tackle, and a senior. Jay Stewart, defensive tackle, junior. Bobby Williams, weak side linebacker, and a senior. Rob Leggett, middle linebacker, and a senior. Steve Strader, inside linebacker, and a senior. Alan Peterson, linebacker, and a senior. Eric Van Zanten, defensive back, and a senior. Rob Poole, defensive back, and a senior. Ted Campbell, defensive back, and a senior.
And it's time for us, after looking at the Mark Morris Monarchs, to now take a look at the Arlington Eagles starting lineup.
Peterson, quarterback, junior. Chuck Elskog, fullback, senior. Rick Sears, tailback, senior. Gary Bohannon, wingback, senior. Rich Simp, center, junior. Kevin Shepard, right guard, sophomore. Dan Burton, left guard, senior. Gary Carlson, left tackle, senior. Mike Wold, right tackle, senior. Troy Don, left end, sophomore. Don Peterson, right end, senior. Max Jacob, strong safety, senior. Chris Irwin, defensive end, senior. Rich Bamber, weak safety, senior. Clint Osborne, linebacker, junior. Troy Lane, strong corner, junior. Ken Gwynn, defensive guard, sophomore. Raleigh Hendricks, defensive guard, junior. Alan Prouty, linebacker, senior. Gary Carlson, defensive end, senior. Chuck Elskog, linebacker, senior. Don Peterson, linebacker, senior. Dave Peterson, free safety, junior.
Those are the Arlington Eagles across the way, and their head coach Jim Cavany talked to us before the ball game. What is your offensive game plan against Mark Morris, Jim?
And we try to throw, mix it in, throw 10, 12 times a football game.
Jim Cavany is a graduate of Lewis Clark State out of Lewiston, Idaho. They do not have a football team there. In fact, Jim told me before the game he didn't play too much high school football. But here he is in the state championship game. And now let's turn our attention to the head coach of Mark Morris, Del Talley. What's your offensive game plan against Arlington?
We plan to go into the Arlington game with primarily the same things that we've went into most everything else with, and that's to take our running game and hopefully be able to establish it a little bit, and then perhaps open a little bit with a pass. We don't throw a lot, but when we do throw, it's been pretty good to us. So primarily to establish the run and get our running backs going a little bit and getting our offensive line off the ball, and then to come back and do some things for the pass.
Well, Del Talley played his football at Central Washington University, and in high school he was at Crosstown R.A. Long in Longview, but actually at that time Longview had only one high school, and it was named for the city of Longview. Well, Mark Morris to kick off, and setting the football down is quarterback Sam Tilton, who's one of the offensive co-captains for the Monarchs. You'll see plenty of him during the ball game as he leads the Monarch offense. Last week in their game with Pullman, he threw only 4 times, but he completed 3 of them for touchdowns. Here is Tilton kicking off to the Arlington Eagles, and deep to receive is Chuck Elskog, their great fullback, at the 25 and out to the 29-yard line. So Arlington's Eagles, a ground-pounding team, take over, 1st and 10 at their 29. Now, Larry, you had a look at Chuck Elskog for a long, long evening in the semifinals. Do you look for him to carry as much in this one?
Yes, I do, but their tailback's also an excellent athlete. They didn't get a heck of a lot out of him against us last week. So I think maybe they'll try with him first and then go their tailback second.
Well, there's Elskog on the first carry to the 30 and out to the 35-yard line for 6. Alskog gained 165 yards last week against Peninsula's defending state champions. It's now 2nd and 5, and we'll see if Larry Lunke knows what he's talking about. It'll be Rick Sears this time if he does.
My guess is right.
Straight ahead on the quarterback sneak goes Peterson. He's got the first down at the 40 and out to the 46. Dave Peterson, who played very, very well offensively in the semifinal game as a 145-pound junior. And he gets 11 yards on the keeper and the first down. Ted Campbell, number 80, makes the stop on the play for the Mark Morris defenders. He's the safety man, a 6-foot, 165-pound senior. Ball on the 46, Arlington territory. They're 1st and 10. Alskog again, the fullback hammers his way for about 3 more. What are the interior linemen doing on that play that the fullback gains so much yardage on, Larry?
They're just base blocking, straight ahead, man to man.
So they just look at you and say, we're going to blow you out on that play then.
Yeah, just about on every first down, they'll probably give it to the fullback. That's what they've done in the past.
Phil Walker made the tackle on the play for Mark Morris. They're running in an eye now. The fake to Alskog, and Peterson keeps, pitches to Sears, who turns the corner. And he's across the 40-yard line and down to about, well, let's say he's out of bounds at the 41.5, and it's another first down. There you see the replay. See, Peterson's got it. How did they play that defensively, Larry?
They brought the corner up from the outside, but they both, him and the linebacker, both took the quarterback and left the pitchman alone. And one of those should take the pitchman.
That's the 2nd first down rushing, and you expected Arlington to go right on the
They'll
ground.
go back to their fullback again, I guess.
Peterson to the fullback, and Alskog's across the 40 to the 38-yard line.
That was a trap with their left guard.
Alan Peterson backing up the line, a 6-foot, 190-pound senior wearing number 44 made the tackle. Alskog now has 13 yards and 3 carries. They could carry him from 20 to 30 times in the ball game today.
Very easily.
Straight ahead now, Peterson on the keeper. He's got it inside the 35 at about the 33-yard line. That line up front features Dan Burton at one guard, 170-pound senior, Kevin Shepard at the other, 165-pound sophomore, and Rich Svint at center. He's a 150-pound senior. Linebacker Rob Leggett, number 39, made the tackle on the play. It's 3rd down and about 2.5. Fullback Alskog, and he has the first down near the 30. It's the 3rd first down rushing, and there you see it again. Alskog in the grasp of number 77, Dave Harlan. He's a left guard defensively in a 6-man line. Mark Morris running a 4-4 stack and then shifting to a 6-2. Still in that I formation. Pitch this time to Sears, the tailback, cutting back inside left tackle and is down at the 28-yard line. Well, Larry, has he had the option to go wide on the sweep or to make the little cut back like he did there?
That was an option, whether he could go outside or cut back. He reads the block on the outside.
There you see him now.
See, they're reading the block on 44. 44 went outside. He cut back inside.
Tailback Rick Sears, who on the season gained 707 yards. So they certainly aren't a one-man rushing crew, are they?
That's 707 during the regular season. He's close to 1,000 for including the playoffs.
2nd down and almost 7. Fake to Alskog, and it's Peterson on the keeper. He's at the 15. He's at the 5. He explodes to the end zone. A 27-yard scamper by quarterback Dave Peterson, who now has 42 yards and 3 carries, and you watch it again. Larry, he cut back against the grain and just left some unblocked players in his way.
Yes, he did. The corner went again. Went for the pitchman that time, left the quarterback alone.
The extra point by Wold is up and good, and you saw a lot of Wold last week. He kicked the winning point against you, Larry.
He's one of the best kickers we've seen in the AA football.
7-0 as you watch the touchdown play again. Larry, go ahead.
Okay, he faked the dive to the fullback. He's running the option. Now he's going to cut straight back inside instead of pitching. Cuts back across the grain and into the end zone.
So the Arlington Eagles go 71 yards on their drive. And Dave Peterson scampers 27 yards on the keeper to put Arlington in front, 7-0. And there you see the Eagle fans flying high across the west. Wold will kick off for the Eagles. Mike is a 180-pound senior, 6'2". Kicked a field goal with 1 second to go in the half against Peninsula to start Arlington's scoring, and he ended it by the winning extra point in the final seconds of the game. That boot down to Mark Morris's Rob Poole, and he cuts from sideline toward the middle, but gets only to the 21-yard line. So Mark Morris takes over with its first offensive try of the game, as John Hannon and Darrell Peterson collaborate on the tackle for the Arlington Eagles. Mark Morris in red, white, and blue. And Larry, tell us about them offensively.
The guy to watch for is Alan Peterson. I'd rate him as the best AA back that I've seen in the state. In fact, he's maybe one of the best backs I've seen in the last 2 or 3 years.
He's gained 1,608 yards this season, over 600 in the playoffs.
Not only powerful, but really quick.
There's the give to Peterson. He's at the 25, and he is over the 30 to the 32-yard line and may have a first down. Dave Peterson, number 1, and Don Peterson, number 42. Brothers, and incidentally, there are 4 Peterson brothers on the Arlington team. And as you can tell, the star of the Mark Morris team is Alan Peterson. There you see the score as the Eagles have marched for the opening kickoff on a measurement for the first down.
Doug, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a high-scoring game. Both these teams have been averaging over 30 points a game during the season.
Just short of that first down, so we'll call it a 9-yard gain by Peterson. Now, Larry, the last 2 AA championship games have been wild affairs. Now, I know you have a wide-open offense, and that dictated part of that, but yet today we're going to see 2 very much ground-minded teams, and you still anticipate a high-scoring game?
Yes, I do, because Pullman, I think, has always been a very good defensive team over the years, and Mark Morris scored a lot of them last week, I think at 34 points. You score 34 against Pullman, they're very capable of scoring 30 against anybody.
You felt you had one of your best defensive teams.
Yes, we did, and they scored 24 against us.
Here's Mark Morris on 2nd and inches now with Sam Tilton at quarterback. The give is to Peterson. And he gets the first down, and that's the first down of the game for Mark Morris. There you see the Arlington drive, 70 yards officially in 9 plays. 4 minutes and 4 seconds duration. And with 7:51 to go in the first quarter, the Eagles grabbed a 7-0 lead. We had 6:45 to go now. Monarchs have the ball for the first time in the game. Rob Poole, number 22, Tony Uzita, number 24, and Alan Peterson in there. And this time it is for Mark Morris. It is Rod Holland, I believe, carrying. Yes, Holland, number 35.
Doug, Holland is playing with a broken finger. He's got his hand taped up, and he did not play last week for him.
There's Tony Uzita behind Peterson now in that eye, with Rob Poole in the slot. Pitch to Uzita. He may have the first down near the 50 at the 47.5-yard line as he's spun out of bounds by number 42, Don Peterson. And it's another first down. You're going to watch it again.
That's just a sweep, Doug, with leading with that fullback. Peterson is also an excellent blocker. We watched him last week over in Yakima, and he does a super job as a fullback for a blocker.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. The Monarchs moving with the football now, the first time they get it. Sam Tilton, who passes sparingly, 170-pound junior at the throttle. And there's contact along the line. It looked like Alskog made contact. Offside against Arlington, and that's what occurred. Now, Larry, in a situation like that, does the quarterback create that?
Yes, he can by his cadence. If he slows up or speeds up his cadence on different occasions, he can call him, get him offside to jump offside.
Alskog is the nose guard defensively. There's the officials, by the way. The umpire, Michael Pugh. The head linesman is Mike Taylor. The field judge is James Rye. And you're looking at the referee, Tom Jones. Tilton, the southpaw, back to pass. Home run ball. And it is caught. Ted Campbell has got it inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. Rich Bamber defended on the play, but that was just a case of Campbell out-jumping the opponent. Let's watch it.
He is very well covered. He had two guys covering him. The ball was thrown up for grabs. Mark Morris comes down with the ball.
It's anybody's right there, isn't it?
That's an excellent concentration on the receiver by Campbell.
Ball is at the 15-yard line. Peterson up the middle, and he's to the 13-yard line. They were ready and waiting that time. 3 first downs now in the game for Mark Morris. 2 by rushing and 1 by passing. Clint Osborne and Don Peterson collaborate on that tackle. Peterson gets a couple. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. The ball's at the 13. Fake one way, and Peterson's at the 10. Bounces off tacklers, and look at that second effort.
Crossbuck action in the backfield, Doug. When they trap, they fake to the first back, give it to Peterson, second man through.
He now has 24 yards and 4 carries, and you'll see why. Watch the goal.
Double team on Alskog, the nose guard. Linebacker misses the tackle. Peterson got excellent balance.
It was Dave Peterson credited with bringing him down, and it's 1st and goal now, and they give to Peterson, and with a second effort, I think he's in. There he is. A 2-yard cruise by Alan Peterson, and with 4:36 to go in the first quarter, this game is an all Peterson affair right now. Dave scoring for the Arlington Eagles, and Alan scoring for the Mark Morris Monarchs.
They're in a full house tee, Doug, on the replay here. Second man through. This is a great second effort by Peterson.
He just runs right over the linebacker on the play as Don Peterson filled that gap. Now is Mark Morris going to go for 2? Apparently they are. 78-yard drive.
Last week they missed 2 extra points and had a little trouble kicking. In the second half over there, they went for 2 the whole second half.
Well, they're getting a 5-yard penalty for delay of the game. Now, in a situation like this, when you're going from the 3-yard line, how much more difficult does that 5 yards make it, Larry?
Well, the kick doesn't make a heck of a lot of difference. You got a decent kicker, the 5 yards won't hurt you at all. But I'd say now they'd probably go for the kick.
Certainly.
It pretty well takes a run away.
Yeah, it certainly dictates what you do, doesn't it?
I'm wrong on it, though, Doug. They're going for 2.
But it looks like they're in passing formation.
Yes, they have a trip set to the left side. 3 receivers to the left side.
Tilton under pressure. The southpaw pitching, and it's incomplete and knocked down beautifully by Arlington's number 33, Clint Osborne. Chasing him was Gary Carlson, the 6'3", 170-pound senior. You're going to have a look at it again. That's the touchdown, though. As Peterson rams it in, so it's a 7-6 football game. And the Arlington Eagles have the 1-point edge at the moment. Mark Morris cheerleader. A big moment. Larry, as a coach who's been here a couple of times, tell us about the feelings of the kids and the coaches coming in to play in the Kingdom as high school representatives.
It's a thrill of a lifetime for everyone's involved, not only the players, the coaches, but I think for the whole school. Our administration's excited about it the last 2 years. It's just a great feeling to know that you have the opportunity to play where the Seattle Seahawks play.
The voice you're listening to is that of Larry Lunke of Peninsula High School, whose teams have been in the last 2 AA championship games. This year, it's Arlington and Mark Morris, and Sam Tilton is set to kick off for the Monarchs, who've just scored but trail by a point. Is that Sears? He's got it at the 20 and up the middle across the 30 to the 37-yard line. It was not. It was Max Jacobs' number 20 run rather than 29. And the tackle made by Pat Morris. Here's Tilton's kick again. Now there's a wedge right up the middle, Larry.
Yes, it is.
Pretty good field position for Arlington. They're at their own 37. Peterson, who's run that option, pitching to Sears at the 40 to the 45.
They run that option very well.
What kind of adjustments will Mark Morris have to make now to stop this Arlington running game?
I think right now they're trying to cut off that fullback who's been their leading rusher for the year, and they're not doing a very good job of having one man take that quarterback, another one take the pitch man.
Sears finally boosted out of bounds by number 80, Ted Campbell, but not before he gets another first down. And a scamper of about 14 yards. This is Alskog across the 50 to the 48-yard line. Excuse me, that last gain was 9. I'll stand corrected, and it is a first down now. I misread those yard markers. Alskog now has 20 yards and 5 trips unofficially, and Jay Stewart, number 78, made that tackle. Give you that Mark Morris defensive line. Jim Smith, number 82, and Kevin Bogner, number 81, are the ends. Phil Walker, number 76, and Greg Bergen, number 73, are the tackles. Peterson pitching to Sears, tailback sweep, cuts back at the 45, goes to the 40 to the 37-yard line, and another first down. Defensively inside for Mark Morris, Dave Harlan, number 77, and Jay Stewart, number 78, as you watch that sweep by Sears.
Okay, there, the good block on the outside man. He cut it back up inside. He's got a good gain on that.
Tim Moore, number 72, is there to make the tackle on the play. But Sears picks up another first down on an 11-yard scamper, and he has 20 yards and 4 carries now, and the 5th first down for Mark Morris, or for Arlington, excuse me. Peterson giving to his fullback, and Alskog hammers the middle, and he's inside the 35. Peterson, the quarterback's 145-pound junior. Alskog, the fullback, 180-pound senior. Sears is 177-pound senior at tailback. Here you see the fullback again. Dave Harlan, number 77, and Jim Smith, number 82. There's Jim Cavaney, the Arlington coach. 2nd down and about 7. Peterson with his backs in and on. Straight up the middle, Alskog again, and a couple. We'll give him 3 on the play.
Here's a replay. It's just a base dive right up the middle. The linebacker does a good job of taking off his block and making the tackle.
That was Rob Leckett, number 39, there in the gold helmet, who did that good job, as described by Larry Lunke. Peterson on the option again. If he eludes that one, he gets some distance. He's at the 30 to the 26, and that's a first down. Ted Campbell, number 80, makes the tackle. I'll tell you, about the time you concentrate on Alskog and Sears, Peterson does it.
Right, that time they had it read right. They had a man on the quarterback. He breaks a tackle on this. The guy comes right up. He has him right there. He loses the tackle, and Peterson gets the first down. But they played it very well. They just need a tackling.
1st and 10, Arlington at the 25-yard line. The Eagles leading at 7-6. First quarter of the Kingdom, and there's Allskog up the middle. Tim Moore, excuse me.
That's what they like to do, Doug. There's about a 5-yard gain on first down. They give it every time so far. They've given it to Allskog on first down.
Tim Moore, number 72, makes the tackle, and that's 8 carries in the game so far for Allskog here in the first quarter for 31 yards. 2nd and 5. Peterson to Allskog. This time off the tackle, and he's at the 15 and to the 11-yard line. Now that play's veered a little more to the outside.
That was off tackle instead of off guard. Just a little bit wider.
Eric Van Zandt.
They blocked down inside of the tackle and ran Allskog right off the outside.
Number 87, Eric Van Zenten, and number 82, Jim Spence are the collaborators on the tackle. Another Arlington first down. Ball is at the 12-yard line. Eagle possession. Wide receiver left is Jacobs. He's out of your picture now as Peterson calls his plays to Allskog, to the 5, to the 3, and down at about the 2-yard line. Neither team has thrown, yes, Tilton threw one pass for Mark Morris. Arlington has not thrown the football. Jay Stewart, number 78, trips him up right here. Watch Allskog through the middle.
Yeah, and it's a straight dive, straight ahead, right behind his guard.
I guess balance would be a good word. He really keeps his feet.
Yes, he does. He's an excellent power runner.
And now 47 yards and 10 carries with a half a minute to go here in the first quarter. Arlington knocking at the door once again. Peterson to Allskog. The hole is there. Allskog stopped and then wriggles in for the touchdown. We'll see it again, Larry, and I'll let you describe it.
It's a straight dive again right behind the left tackle, or excuse me, left guard, and they're going to continue to give that ball to Allskog until they stop him. So far, they haven't stopped him. He's no less than 3 yards a carry.
Wold will attempt the extra point, and he's almost automatic. Kick is up and clear over the screen here at the Kingdom, giving you an example of his leg. And it's a 14-6 football game as Arlington leads Mark Morris here in the first quarter with just 18 seconds to go. The touchdown play again. Watch number 30 and his great ability to reach back for a little extra. You see him lunge and lunge again. Well, so far, Larry, you're a great predictor. We've got 20 points already, and we have 18 seconds to go in the first quarter.
What's interesting now, Doug, will see if Mark Morris will save their game plan and stay on the ground, or if they panic a little bit and put the ball in the air, try to come back a little quicker.
Well, I know that you are very much inclined to throw that forward pass, but with the type of attack Mark Morris has had, it would be a little early to panic, wouldn't it?
I'd say so. They've been a ground team all year, except they do feel they throw the ball pretty well. They threw it 3 times last week for touchdowns.
That's pretty well.
Yes, it is.
There is a pickoff by Poole down at the 15-yard line, and Robb is across the 25 and out to the 27. So Mark Morris goes on offense for the second time. Actually, neither team has stopped either team.
So far.
Going to see it again as Poole, who plays slot back on their offensive unit. Nice hit there.
Arlington covered the kickoff very well.
Max Jacobs and Don Peterson making the tackle. Okay, setting them offensively for you. Kevin Bogner, number 81, and Ted Campbell, number 80, are the ends. Tim Moore and Greg Bergen are the tackles as the first quarter comes to an end, and you're looking at the Mark Morris Monarchs changing ends of the field. The guards are Phil Walker, number 76, and number 68, Dan Kohler, and the center's number 53, Mark Fisher. This is the Mark Morris offense. Quarterback, Sam Tilton, number 7. Slot back, Rob Poole, number 22. Alan Peterson, number 44, the great fullback, and Tony Uzita, number 24, is the tailback. In that first quarter, Allskog had 49 yards and 11 carries unofficially for Arlington, and Peterson had 26 yards and 5 carries for Mark Morris. Arlington had the football more, and just about twice as much, well, actually 2 times to 1, each team having driven for touchdowns, and there you see the first quarter tally. So we're set for the second quarter, and Mark Morris with its second offensive series of the game. Sam Tilton at quarterback. The gold helmet of Alan Peterson straight ahead for maybe a yard. Arlington defensively has a big forward wall. Ken Gwynn made the tackle, number 78. He's a 6'4", 270-pound sophomore. He's in there with Raleigh Hendricks, a 6'2", 190-pound lineman. There you see them up the middle. Gary Carlson, who's 6'3", 170 pounds. Allskog, of course, the 180-pound nose guard, number 30. They're in a 4-man front right now. Pitch goes to Uzita. They do not let him turn the corner, and he may have 2 yards at the most. Troy Lane, a 149-pound junior. 16-year-old youngster playing here in the Kingdom, making the tackle for Arlington. 3rd down and 7. You see Uzita again. Peterson, the lead blocker.
Good lead block by Peterson right here, but there's just too many people out there.
Arlington did a good job of getting defenders wide that time.
Yes, they did. They covered it very well.
3rd down, 7 for Mark Morris. Tilton, who's 1 for 1 passing, facing long yardage situation now at his own 30. Sam's back to throw. Got his man over the middle, but he cannot hang on. Campbell seemed to turn one way before he had the handle.
He looked away from the ball.
You're going to see it again. Tilton lays it right in there.
Very good pass, very good play. And he didn't keep his eyes on the ball, Doug.
Gee, a picture's worth 1,000 words, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
There you're looking at Jim Kickabush, the assistant coach at Mark Morris, who had to stop coaching after 4 games this season because he is seriously ill. But it was his wish to be here in the Kingdom today with Mark Morris, and the players and coaches obliged him. A punting situation now, and Peterson boots it to Jacobs at the 39. Goes one way and then the other, and then thinks better of it and comes right up the middle for about 3. Ball will be at the 45 for Arlington, 1st and 10. Rob Leggett made the tackle on the play for Mark Morris. So the Monarchs have a drive stalled, and Arlington, which has scored both times it's had the football, gets its best field position now at the Eagle 45. Fake one way and they give the other, and I think that's Bohannon. It is. Gary Bohannon, the slot back, trying to work that reverse to the left side, is hammered by Alan Peterson, and there's actually a loss on the play.
Doug, I believe what happened is that was a trap play, and the man beat the trap across, and they didn't trap Peterson. He shot as a linebacker and threw him for about a 3-yard loss.
Now, is that a predetermined stunt by Peterson?
I believe it was, yeah.
Well, he sure predetermined right, didn't he?
He's an excellent linebacker, as well as being an excellent running back.
2nd down, 13. Fake, and Peterson's going to keep on a quarterback sweep. And that same Peterson is up there to slow him down, and then he gets some help. And it's...
A 1st down play, Doug, was really a big play for Mark Morris. They needed to throw him for a loss and get him back there a little bit, so now they put him into a passing situation.
He gets only 1 or so. You see Peterson really slowing Peterson down there. And he's rolled out of bounds for a gain of maybe a yard. He has 46 yards and 5 carries. Fine performance by quarterback Dave Peterson thus far in the game for Arlington. He's only a 145-pound junior. 3rd and 12, and he rolls to pass. Going to be intercepted. I think that's Campbell. It is. He's at the 40, 36-yard line. Well, he didn't take his eye off that one, Larry.
Oh, he did. He read that very well. most defensive backs are always watching the receiver. Campbell looked at the quarterback throughout that play. They had it read the whole way.
Troy Dunn, number 80, and Gary Carlson, number 72, make this tackle. Watch Campbell.
And throughout this play, Campbell's looking right at the ball. He's got it read the whole thing. There he goes. That's a big play for Mark Morris.
Well, he overthrew his brother Don Peterson just slightly on the play, and as Larry said, the defensive back, Campbell, was right there. He's the defensive safety. Ted Campbell of Mark Morris with a big interception. There is a give and no gain as the tailback, and I'll wait and see. I think that's 35. Yes, it's Holland. Rod Holland carrying. And I guess he does get a yard on the play. So it'll be 2nd and 9. Don Peterson, number 42, linebacking, made the tackle on the play for Arlington.
Right now, Doug, Arlington's defensive line is dominating that line of scrimmage, and Mark Morris is going to have to go outside a little bit. Either that or they're going to have to start throwing the ball.
A split receiver right and a slot that way. Tilton rolling left. He's a southpaw. Going to put it up there, and it is just overthrown.
That's
and a penalty
interference,
flag's
Doug.
down. Rich Bamber, number 28, and Max Jacobs, number 21, were defending for Kevin Bogner, big number 81 of Mark Morris, and the 6'2", 170-pound junior draws a pass interference call. You'll see it again. There's Tilton. Now you watch 81 at the top of your screen. Contact right there. Is that where it comes?
Yes, contact right on his back, Doug. He reached for the ball a little too soon.
That will be 15 yards and a first down for the Mark Morris Monarchs, who trail it 14-6 early in the second quarter. Say one thing for you AA coaches, you provide entertainment, Larry Lunke.
Been the best ball game the last 2 years, and very well could be again tonight.
Both these teams have been impressive so far. Here's Sam Tilton of Mark Morris. This is Alan Peterson.
He's quick.
He really accelerates, doesn't he? The 190-pound senior has a first down. Watch him again. Watch that speed right there.
He just outruns that corner.
A 14-yard gain and 40 yards now in 6 carries for the star fullback of the Mark Morris Monarchs, and it's first down and goal to go at the 6. The fullback, Peterson's going to throw, and it's intercepted. It looked like it might have been a broken play, and then Peterson threw the ball, and it is picked off.
Well, that's a mistake, Doug, right there. You know, we've been a team, we live by the pass, but the teams that live by the run should keep to the running game when you get down that 6-yard line.
I think does he improvise that, do you think?
No, they say he's a good thrower, and he has been a quarterback in the past.
Troy Lane, number 68, the man who picks it off.
I'm sure that was a planned play. So here you are, first down the 6-yard line. You have 4 plays to get it in. I think you should stick to that running game.
Well, you hear a guy that lives by the pass say that. So here is the Arlington Eagles now on first down as they avert what appeared to be a big bid by Mark Morris for the touchdown, and Alskog hammers it across the 20 to the 21-yard line. I'm going to run out of paper on Chuck. He's carried 12 times already. There he goes again. 7:57 to go in the half. Sears and Alskog are behind quarterback Peterson. Peterson on the keeper to Sears, 25 and out at about the 30. May have stepped out at the 29.
They're not getting anybody to contain that quarterback, Doug, and they've got to get somebody to make him pitch that ball earlier.
That's a 6-yard gain.
So right here, the guy's way behind him. He gets blocked in the line of scrimmage. 81 should have him. He's behind him, and they get that pitch off.
Well, I'll tell you, the threat of that inside game on Mr. Allstock's what's making the wide stuff work, isn't it?
It really shouldn't make any difference, Doug. They should have somebody to cut off him. They should be playing man-to-man, somebody taking that quarterback and someone else taking the pitch man.
1st and 10 for the Arlington Eagles. Peterson to Allskog up the middle, and there's that first down call again.
There's that first down play again, about 4 or 5 yards again.
Dave Harlan, number 77, making the tackle on the play. He's a 195-pound junior. And you're seeing it again.
There it is. Dive again. He does a straight head run. He puts that head down. He's running forward. He's going to gain yardage.
The Willapa Valley team bus will leave at halftime of the AA game.
Quarterback Peterson, one of 4 Peterson brothers, and Allskog hits to the outside. He can flash the speed, 40, 45, and out of bounds at the 49-yard line. A 15-yard scamper and 73 yards and 14 carries now. Number 80, Ted Campbell.
This time, Doug, the quarterback reverse pivots. They go to the left. He breaks outside that tackle again and gets the outside. Arlington's offensive line is doing a super job. They're dominating that line of scrimmage.
The Eagles lead at 14-6, and you see part of the big crowd that looks on here in the Kingdome for the AA state championship. Second man through is Sears, and he's at the 43-yard line for a gain of about 7 or 8 yards. Jay Stewart, number 78, the tackler, and that was a quick pop up the middle.
The fake to the fullback first, reverse pivot, give the second man through. He reads the hole well. Arlington's mixing their plays up well.
Sears now has 34 yards and 6 carries. And they have about 150 yards on the ground thus far in the game. Peterson to pass. He's got Jacobs at the 32-yard line for a first down.
That was Dave Peterson throwing complete to Max Jacobs. Number 22, Ron Poole, made the tackle. It's the first down.
Jacobs on this pass as you watch the replay.
He sprints behind both his backs. Releases the 20. The 21 just out there in the flat. Good pass.
Poole had 2 men to cover in that play, and he did a pretty good job making that
Yes,
tackle.
he did.
Allskog, the fullback, on first down, and there he goes, inside the 15 to the 11-yard line.
Allskog runs like every coach would like to have the fullback run. He runs straight ahead. He doesn't fiddle around, do any dancing. He's just going to gain yardage.
And he just goes over the 100 mark on this run. Look at that.
Nice cut. Cuts behind the one block. Linebacker misses him. And again, he's run right straight up the field.
Ted Campbell has to come over to make the tackle. Poole also helping out. First down, 10 at the 11. Allskog again, and he's at about the 8.
The last 2 yards he got on his own.
In 16 carries, I've got him unofficially for 108 yards so far. Tim Moore, number 72, is the tackler here on Allskog. Second and about 7. Peterson giving to Allskog. Chuck for the end zone. Touchdown.
That's why Mark Morris found the middle linebacker, trying to stop him on first down, but they give the Allskog going the outside. There he is going on the outside, what do we call outside veer. He gets that outside and he outruns him.
Well, with 4:54 to go in the first half, Arlington has struck again. It'll be up to Wold to try for his 3rd straight extra point. He kicks it up to the top of the screen, and it's good. And here in the Kingdome at the State AA Championships, it's Arlington 21 and Mark Morris 6.
Doug, I think you'd have to give that offensive line of Arlington a lot of credit right now.
Well, let's give them credit. it then, shall we? Don Peterson and Troy Don are the ends. Gary Carlson and Mike Wold are the tackles. You're going to watch the touchdown play again. You enjoy that while we give credit to those linemen.
There he is. They turn number 78 all the way around.
The guards are Kevin Shepard, number 55, and Dan Burton, number 70. And the center is Rich Simp, number 54. I don't think it's possible to give enough credit to those interior linemen. They never get their names mentioned often enough.
That's very true, and they're really doing a great job right now. Key to this ball game, maybe, Doug, is that interception down there on the goal line. Could be very well, been a tight ball game. Now they're 2 touchdowns down.
I'd say it's critical for Mark Morris now in this 4:53 as Poole takes that kickoff and goes to the 25-yard line. A one-handed tackle by number 33, Clint Osborne there. I think it's critical for Mark Morris to move the football and get some points here in the first half.
They need to get a drive going.
There's the kickoff. See this one-handed tackle now by Osborne. Just now, Poole tries to put his hand down and keep balance, but cannot. Ball at the 25. Mark Morris possession. Sam Tilton. Pitching back now to Uzita. Maybe 3 behind Peterson's blocking.
Doug, I believe Mark Morris is going to have to go to the throwing game. They try to run inside, and they haven't been able to run inside. Now they're trying to go outside a little bit, and not having much success there either.
There you see Alskog on the score of an 89-yard drive in 9 plays.
There's the counter with their wingback coming back inside.
Man who carried was Poole on the play, and John Hannon, arrival number 22, makes the tackle. Third down, 3 yards to go for Mark Morris at its own 32 with 3:19 to go in the first half. Tilton to pass. Has to roll out of the pocket. He's got Poole, but it is incomplete as on the run he threw it a little wide. Poole was behind the man for a moment, but Tilton's pass drops harmlessly, and he's now 1 for 3 passing. John Hannon here defending.
They make him run out of that pocket. He's got to throw on the run.
You see that he was behind the defense, but he had to turn and go the other way.
Thing interesting on that, Doug, they only needed 3 yards for a first down, and they didn't have anyone running the short pattern. Both guys are going deep.
4th down, 3. Peterson to kick from his own 22. Remember how he can run. A lot of hang time, not real deep. Picked off by Jacobs at the 38. He turns the corner. But a fine tackle by Uzetta. Tony comes up to make that tackle, and ball's at the 46-yard line, 1st and 10.
All their linemen are on the inside, Doug. They didn't have anybody containing that outside.
Arlington leading at 21-6 with 2:50 to go in the first half. Dave Peterson on a rollout, faking to Alskog and keeping it. A nifty bit of running, 40, 35, and down to the 30-yard line.
Again, Doug, they're not getting anyone on Peterson. Peterson's coming to the corner, and where most teams defensively are going to try to make him pitch out there, he's getting to the corner, and he's got all the room to run up. Here he goes, right out here. Now he looks for the fullback, now he's coming down. Nobody's forcing him. He turns up, gets a block on 80, and just keeps the ball.
Good block by number 41 that time, Bohannon.
Someone's got to come across that line of scrimmage and force Peterson to pitch the ball.
Peterson now has 70 yards and 6 carries, and he's going for broke. for Jacobs, incomplete.
He had him beat.
Ted Campbell defending on the play for Mark Morris. Starts to sprint out, then sets up. Now you'll see by a stride or so that Jacobs cannot run under that football. 2:19 to go in the first half. Mark Morris is 6'2" defensively. Alskog in heavy traffic for a couple. .205 to go in the half. Greg Bergen, number 73, and Rob Leggett, number 39, were the tacklers on that play. 3rd down and 8. Mark Morris must dig in defensively here. They cannot afford to go behind 28-6 at halftime. Peterson to roll to pass. Short pattern, and on a sit-down catch, it is his brother Don Peterson who hauls it in at the 13-yard line for a first down.
It's about a 10-yard out, Doug. He's wide open.
I said 13, I meant 18.
Here's
there
the play,
it is.
replay. It's a nice catch.
You called it a 10-yard out, and that's exactly what it was. For Dave Peterson, now he's 2 for 4 for 21 yards, had 1 interception. Here's Alskog, the fullback, inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. 1:25 to go in the half. They roll and he got to the 7, and that's very close, and I think it is a first down.
And there's Alskog in that first down again. And again, it's just a matter of Mark Morris not controlling that line of scrimmage.
I think they're going to measure for the first down. There you see Chuck hitting the turf. And across the way, Arlington Rooters. The whole city of Arlington vacant today. As there's your conference. Jim Cavany, the coach, and Dave Peterson, the quarterback. 1:24 to go in the first half. Here comes the measurement. It is very close. It is a first down. Alskog now has 128 yards in 19 carries here in the first half. Well, that's enough carries for most guys in a couple of games.
He's doing a great job.
So thus far in the game, the Arlington Eagles have demonstrated their ability to control that football. Mark Morris has moved it pretty good when they've had it, but they haven't had it enough. And a pass interception when it looked like they might have a touchdown. At least a great chance for one. Turned back their second bid. There's the time remaining. And you see how close that ball is to the Seahawks end zone here in the Kingdome in Seattle. I formation, Sears and Alskog behind Peterson. Jacobs in motion. And along the line of scrimmage, they caused Jay Stewart to jump. Penalty flags go down. Offside against Mark Morris.
I believe this is a sign, a little bit of frustration starting to show, Doug.
Ball down to the 4-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from there. Well, everything that you can imagine says number 30 on the carry, but let's wait and see. Alskog faked into Sears for the touchdown.
Beautiful play.
They really did a great job, didn't they?
That was a beautiful fake.
Watch that
Fake to Alskog. Pitched out there. They all went for Alskog. He thought they were going to get the ball. They all thought he was going to get the ball.
Rick Sears for the touchdown, and Mike Wold will attempt the extra point now as Arlington has taken control by a score of 27-6, and Wold makes it 28. So the high-flying Eagles of Arlington. Yeah, that's twice he's kicked it over the net, Larry. That's a pretty good leg.
Yes, he has a very strong leg. Arlington's really got great team speed. So it really shows them. They get to the outside. As a team, they just show a lot more quickness. rate here really shows. Once they get that ball to the outside, Mark Morris just doesn't recover in time.
Notice how well Alskog carried out that fake, too.
Great job.
So it's been Mr. Inside, Chuck Alskog, and two Mr. Outsides today. Rick Sears, the tailback, and Dave Peterson, the quarterback. And with 1:19 to go, Mark Morris has Deep, Peterson, and Poole. As Wold will kick off. We're in the first half of the state AA championship game, and I want to advise you that Clay Huntington will be Mike's side to follow with the AAA title game, an all Pierce County affair. Rogers Rams of Puyallup, the Thunderbirds of Mount Tahoma. Had much chance to see the AAAs this year, Larry?
Haven't seen either team play, Doug.
Oh, you're looking forward to it then, huh?
Yes.
Well, onside try, at least a very short kick. Bounces away from Uzetta, and I think that's Campbell covering it at the 26. And so Mark Morris has no return. And it'll be, there you see it, loose. Bouncing away from Uzetta there.
The ball's hard to handle on that artificial turf.
Yeah, it really is.
You don't know which way the ball's going to bounce.
Mark Morris, 1st and 10, its own 26, trailing 28-6. Little more than a minute to go in the first half. Tilton pitches now to Holland. Arlington's defense has been ferocious in the last 3 series. And that was Chris Irwin along with Don Peterson in on that tackle. Rod Holland, the tailback, as you see that scoring drive, 54 yards in 6 plays. Took them only a minute and 34 seconds to score. Holland has 8 yards and 3 carries now, as Tilton's back to pass. Trying to set up a screen, he's got Peterson in the flat, but the ball arrives at the same moment that number 42, Don Peterson, arrives. Wow, that's a tough defensive play.
I believe what happened there, Doug, is there was a lineman out there to make a block. He was watching Peterson catch the ball right here in the replay. He throws.
Good job by Tilton there, getting it away.
Peterson.
Look at that.
The lineman is watching Peterson catch the ball. 42, he makes a super hit.
Well, the lineman almost ended up being a pass receiver after the deflection. 3rd down and 10. Tilton in the pocket. A little bit high for number 81, Kevin Bogner. And it goes incomplete. Yes, it was intended for number 87 rather than number 81. There you'll see it here on your screen. Don Peterson making the defensive play. It's Eric Van Zenten, the intended receiver. That Don Peterson's played a fine game defensively for Arlington. He's a 175-pound senior linebacker. Alan Peterson to kick, back in the 15. Very, very high, but not real deep. Dave Peterson calls for a fair catch at the 47, and there's a fumble, and the ball's recovered at the 48-yard line, and it is recovered by Arlington. Max Jacobs, I think, who came up with the football, number 21. There you can have a look at it. Nearly a collision there with the man calling for the fair catch.
I believe that could have been called interference.
Certainly trying to get out of the way, however, so maybe he got the benefit of the doubt. 11 seconds, all that remain, as Dave Peterson goes back to pass. Arlington in a bid right here. Peterson being rushed, trying to run out of trouble. Gets across the 50 to the 48, and that appears to be all the time there is. That is the last play of the first half, as quarterback Dave Peterson goes for a couple, and at halftime, the score, the Arlington Eagles 28, and the Mark Morris Monarchs 6. Well, just as the Arlington Eagles football team flashed its form on the gridiron in the first half and lead 28-6 at halftime over Mark Morris, you're looking now at halftime at the Arlington High School drill team. Let's enjoy them. And now sharing in the halftime ceremonies in this AA championship game, the Mark Morris High School Band. Morris Band concludes the halftime activity here at the Kingdome. The two teams are back on the playing field. The Arlington Eagles leading at 28-6 at halftime. And here's a quick look at the scoring. Arlington struck first on a 27-yard run by quarterback Dave Peterson for a 7-0 lead. And then Alan Peterson of Mark Morris came back on a 2-yard run that climaxed a 78-yard drive. But going for a 2-point conversion, Mark Morris failed to connect, and it was 7-6 with 4:36 left in the first quarter. But from that point on, it was all Arlington, as Chuck Alskog scored from 2 yards out, and then again from 8 yards out, and then Rick Sears scored from 4 yards out, and Wold kicked the extra point all 3 times, and Arlington had soared to a 28-6 halftime lead, a 21-point margin. Actually, in that game, the Mark Morris Monarchs had a chance when they were trailing by a score of 14-6 to either tie the score or come within 1. But they threw an interception from the 6-yard line or 7-yard line on 1st and goal, and a play that was kind of a broken play in that the passer collided. There was a fullback passing, collided with his quarterback, and then the pass was intercepted. And from that point on, Arlington prevailed. Now Arlington to kick off, Wold to boot it, and Pools got it for Mark Morris at the 15, 20, 25, and out to the 30. It'll be first down there for Mark Morris. Well, Larry Lunke, you've had a chance during halftime to relax a bit and think about the game as we look at that replay. Now, what do you think in the second half? What's Mark Morris got to do?
Mark Morris is going to have to throw the football, Doug. Either that or come up with a better offense. They didn't have that first half.
Alex Trevino made the tackle on the play for Arlington on that kickoff coverage. And Mark Morris, which was 1 for 5 in throwing the football in the first half, and going back to Alan Peterson, who was their best ground gainer. He's at the 45-40. He's at the 45-50. He's at the 45 and down to about the 37-yard line for a first down. A 32-yard run by Alan Peterson, who had 40 yards and 6 carries in the first half, and let's watch it again.
Give it a second man through. They moved Peterson to tailback that time, Doug, which they did last week also.
He lost his shoe. And Rich Bamber there to make the tackle and with some help get him out of bounds. Alan Peterson had 318 yards against Olympia in one game this year. You know he can run. I had a feeling, he got those 40 yards early in the first quarter, and after that they didn't have much occasion to call on him because they didn't have the ball too often. And so Mark Morris is now going to their big running back, Alan Peterson, who has 72 yards now and 7 carries. Sam Tilton pitching to Holland, the tailback, and he fails to get back to the line of scrimmage. Dan Abel, wearing number 57, made the tackle on the play for Arlington. Be no game for Holland. Statistically now in the first half, Arlington carried the ball 38 times, or had 38 total plays for 253 yards, to 20 for Mark Morris and 97 yards. 232 of those yards were rushing to 64 rushing for Mark Morris, and Arlington had the ball 15 minutes to 8:58 in time of possession for Mark Morris. There's Alan Peterson up the middle for about 4 or so. Anything else you see significantly there, Larry?
They've moved Peterson back to the tailback. I think with the idea of trying to give him the ball and let him make a cut like he does right here. He gets by 1 tackle, and he need another block. He would have been off for a good gain there.
Okay, there were 15 first downs to 6 in that first half, by the way. And officially, Chuck Alskog had 119 yards in the first half, and officially, Alan Peterson had 43. There's Peterson on the second man through for a couple, and it'll bring up 4th down and about 4 or 5 yards to go. Don Peterson, number 42, and Todd Kramer, number 76, the tacklers.
This is a big play for Mark Morris right here, Doug. They need to get that first down and get in there and score.
Okay, they're at the 31.5-yard line, and it's 4th and 5.
I'd say right now they're trying to throw the ball to Peterson. They've got split backs.
Tilton giving to Peterson on a draw.
Give to him on a draw.
He's at the 29 and penalty flags are down. He did not get enough for the first down. Now we'll see what the penalty's all about. Illegal motion is one of the signals anyway. It was illegal motion against Mark Morris, and Arlington will say forget it. Peterson got a couple, but not enough. There you see it. Good defensive play by number 42, Don Peterson. He's just been all over the place backing up that line.
There's a lineman went out there and didn't attempt to make a block. He needed one block and he would have that first down easy.
And I guess that tells you something in that if those linemen do not do their job, all the backs in the world don't gain those shots.
That's right. Be interesting to see if Mark Morris does a little stunning in the second half. Now they change into a 5-2.
They're in a 5-2, and here is Peterson giving to Alskog outside. He breaks a tackle. 45-46 yard line from the 29-yard line, and the original line of scrimmage, a 17-yard gain.
Up to this point, Doug, he looks like the best player of the day so far.
Rob Poole, number 22. Eric Van Zenten, number 87. There you see Alskog. Good block that time on linebacker Peterson.
Defense needs to penetrate. They need to stunt those backers and try to throw them for loss on first down.
It's another first down for Arlington. They're 16th in the game. Ball's at the 46. This is Sears.
Well, that's what Mark Morris needs. Hold him for a 1-yard gain, that first down.
Dave Harlan, number 77, penetrated that time in that forward wall for Mark Morris and tripped him up. There you're going to see it.
They had good penetration that time all the way across the front line.
Actually, Leggett, number 39, tripped him up and Harlan fell on it. Fake to Alskog, pitch to Sears, 45-50, 45. They've got him by the shirt, but he's inside the 40 to the 38-yard line.
What's happening, Doug, is the defensive corner is standing back and waiting, and they're sending a lead blocker out and blocking him. He's not getting up to the line of scrimmage. Right here again, somebody took the quarterback, but nobody's on the pitch man. I believe 22 should have been on the pitch man, and he was blocked.
Peterson's got him with one hand, and Leggett comes over to clean him up. But Rick Sears gets 14 yards and a first down, and now has 48 and 8 carries. Peterson to Alskog, first down call again, Larry.
There it is. That's been about, what, 90-95% of the time he gets the ball on first down.
Well, I guess you'd do it if he's going to get 4 every
That's
time.
right.
150 yards right now in 21 carries by this man, Chuck Alskog. Well, he had 165 yards against your club last week, and I guess he looked as awesome then, didn't he?
Yes, he did, especially that second half. He dominated the ball game.
Alan Peterson, the linebacker on the opposite side, made the tackle for Mark Morris. Second down and 6. They're giving on the reverse to Bohannon.
Mark Morris read that well.
Kevin Wagner, number 81, made the tackle defensively for Mark Morris. Wagner's a 6'2", 170-pound junior, and watch him now as Bohannon goes the other way. Good penetration by number 78 that time also. Jay Stewart caused some problem back there and slowed the play down. Third down, 6. Peterson looking to pass. Gonna run it instead, and he's got the first down at the 30 and is out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Dave Peterson down the sideline for a first down.
Peterson's had a big day running. 80 yards and 8 carries. Look at him there. 78, Jay Stewart rolls him out of bounds. First and 10, Arlington at the Mark Morris 25-yard line.
Unbalanced line.
They were unbalanced and had their backfield shifted to a power eye left, and Drew Mark Morris offside. I've really been impressed with Dave Peterson at quarterback today.
He's done an excellent job, Doug. They mixed their plays up well. Kept Mark Morris guessing the whole night so far.
Twice he's drawn them offside with a cadence count. 1st and 5, Arlington, and the Eagles roll along with
His
a
unbalanced line again.
Sears,
Just broke a tackle.
15 to the 12, an 11-yard line.
Listen, they get in now, Doug, to put the game out of reach, I believe.
57 yards and 9 carries for Sears. Fun to watch those replays, Larry. You get a second look at something you might not have seen when it happened originally.
Yes, it is. They go unbalanced left this time.
Sears behind Alskog and Bohannon.
He's
He's
gone.
at the 5. He sprints for the touchdown. Rick Sears, his second of the day. You watch Ted Campbell now try to keep him out of the end zone.
Just broke the outside. The hole was plugged up. He's got great speed.
Too little, too late as Sears gets the score. Wold to try for his 5th straight extra point. Long and high and over the screen, and 35 to 6, Arlington.
We found out 2 years ago, Doug, that Northwest League is a tough league. The team that comes out of there has always been a good football team.
There you see Sears hitting at the 5. That was a 71-yard drive in 8 plays, and a 12-yard scamper for Sears touchdown. Boy, he's gone now to 69 yards of total offense. Peterson has 80 yards. Alskog 150 unofficially. They got about 300 and some yards of offense on the ground. The Arlington Eagles. Boy, they could call them the Buffalo or something, the way they pound that football downfield. Here's Poole at the 20. Nice move at the 30. Out to the 42-yard line on a good return.
That's the best return they've had. That was the poorest kick that Arlington's had tonight. Normally their kicks have really been high and been a very short return.
Troy Lane, number 68, is the man who makes the tackle. On the replay for you. See Poole doing a good job there. Cutting back against the tackle. Mark Morris trailing 35 to 6. And you see they have shifted again, Peterson to tailback. And they're going to let him carry over the 40 to the 42. Chris Irwin made the tackle on the play.
Sure makes it tough on a team that's predominantly a run team, Doug. They're in a situation now they need to throw and they're not used to throwing.
Took Arlington only 2 minutes and 52 seconds to plow those 71 yards. Alskog, Sears, and Peterson doing the damage. 80 yards and 10 carries now for Alan Peterson as Tilton's back to pass, and it's hammered loose and incomplete as Kevin Bogner had it, but was drilled by number 33, Clint Osborne. There you see Tilton again.
They're bringing an outside receiver all the way back underneath the linebackers. Both linebackers read it well. Knocked the ball loose.
Well, that's double coverage by those linebackers. And number 42 for Arlington, Don Peterson, who's been all over the field today, alertly grabbed that ball, thinking he might have had a fumble. Can always ask questions later in that situation. Tilton with a fake is back to throw. Firing long for Poole. It's intercepted by Jacobs at the 30. Well, Jacobs is the man, I think, who intercepted the final pass of the game in your game in the
Yes, I believe
semifinals.
it was. Max, the receiver hasn't beat by a step. Ball's not thrown quite long enough.
Here you watch Sam southpaw downfield. Yes, he does have him. That's twice Poole's been behind the defense.
Nice intercept.
But Jacobs got back well that time, and Arlington's Eagles have the ball once again, and that's trouble with a capital T. Arlington 35, Mark Morris 6. Alskog at the 40 to the 45-yard line.
A nice hit by Peterson.
And 165 yards now in 22 carries by Alskog. Watch that hit by Peterson that Larry Lunke told you about. There's Peterson right there. Wow. First down for the Eagles at their own 45-yard line. This team does remind me a great deal of that Burlington Edison team you ran into 2 years ago.
Yes, they are. A ball control team and do it very well.
Here's Peterson.
He had him wide open.
Boy, Max Jacobs was open. He led him by about a yard or so.
I don't know, Doug, if you have the statistics on penalties, but Arlington's almost played a perfect ball game so far, haven't they?
I think in every respect. There, you're going to take a look at that again. You watch how close Jacobs
just overthrew him just a little bit.
2 for 20 yards in the first half in penalties. I don't recall them, to be honest. The way they played offensively, you tend to forget any mistakes they made.
Do. Now here's a trap right up the middle.
This is Bohannon on one of his rare straight-ahead carries. He's lost 3 yards on 2 previous reverse tries, but banging up the middle, he gets across the 50 to the 47.
Left guard pulls here and traps. Double team inside. About an 8-yard gain.
The 155-pound senior makes it 3rd and 2 for Arlington. Nice thing about this situation for a quarterback like Peterson, he could give to Alskog or Steers and feel pretty comfortable, couldn't he?
There's a crossbuck.
To Jacobs instead, and apparently
Jacobs.
Comfortable with that too. First down across the 40 to the 36-yard line.
Here's a handoff.
Number 52 blocking on that play that time for Arlington was Alan Prouty, 155-pound senior. The Eagles on the march again. Peterson to Sears. Alskog cuts the legs out from under a defender, and Sears is at the 30-yard line and spun out.
But he's got another 6-yard gain, Doug.
There you see Sears in the grasp of
Alskog's not a
Van
bad
Zanten.
lead blocker either.
No, he just hammered number 77 to the ground as Dave Harlan tried to jump over him. Second down 4. And I'm running out of paper for Peterson, Sears, and Alskog, I'll tell you.
That time they're in the wishbone.
He's got brother open, and Don can't make it at the 8-yard line. Ted Campbell, the safety man, back there. You're going to see it.
That's the matter. Every time they've called a pass, it's been open. If he just been off, it's a little bit on every pass.
Dave's 2 for 6 for 21 yards, but the way they've been hammering that ball up the middle, as you look at the Arlington Eagle across the way, the team mascot. Somebody playing tricks on us? I think so.
Here's another pass. He's throwing that ball well.
That is Troy Dunn, who catches it down at about the 12-yard line.
That was an excellent pass.
An 18-yard gain on the play.
Here it is right here.
Right on the money.
Right over the shoulder.
Eric Van Zenten's the man who one-hands the tackle out of bounds by the shirt. And Arlington's back again with 3:25 to go in the third quarter. Peterson to, that should be Alskog. And there wasn't much place to go that time as Dan Kohler, number 68, makes the tackle.
It's only about the third time all night that they've stopped Arlington on that first down play.
Ellie gets one, and it's second down 9 at the 12.
Well, right now, those Arlington reserves are getting a little hungry to start playing.
Bohannon's the man in motion. Peterson keeps and pitches to Sears. Nice defensive play and a penalty flag down that time as Poole was blocked and still made the tackle.
I believe they called a clip.
Kevin Bogner
Or a face
was
mask, maybe.
holding against Arlington.
Wrong on both counts.
Well, the officials would always tell you that you coaches don't know what penalties are like or all about. Let's watch it now on replay. Sears, there you see Bohannon holding, and nonetheless, Poole did a fine job tripping the ball carrier.
Yes, he did.
Mark Morris says we'll take that penalty, and that puts Arlington back at the 27-yard line. Second down, 24 at the 27. Max Jacobs in motion left. Nice one-handed catch. I think they were going to run the flea flicker there.
It looked like it, Doug, yes. He looked like he wanted to pitch that ball, but Jacobs was too far out in front.
Don Peterson's the man who made the one-handed grab, but for just a yard. And I think he intended the lateral. Let's watch here and see. You judge for yourself at home.
Excellent catch on this play.
Now look if he isn't trying to lateral here. Well, it's hard to say. I think he was just trying to pull that ball in. Third down, 23. They're going to run a double reverse and a pass back to Peterson. Brother Don is open. Touchdown! Peterson to Peterson for 26 yards. That looked like a Peninsula Seahawk play.
Everything's going right now. He is definitely a decent passer.
Public address announcer said it was a triple handoff, I guess. Wold to kick it, and it is good. And it is 42-6 as the Arlington Express has been awesome. There you're going to see it. There's the one handoff. That goes to Bohannon, and there's the lateral back to Peterson. And on the money to Don Peterson. And the senior end for the Arlington Eagles has his touchdown. Taking a look at Dave during the regular season, he has completed 42 of 77 passes for 545 yards and averaged 12.9 yards per toss. Don Peterson, incidentally, has scored 4 touchdowns prior to this. He's received 12 passes for 218 yards and averaged 18.1. So the Peterson brothers have been able to connect. Here's Alan Peterson of Mark Morris. He's at the 30 and he's at the 34-yard line.
Alan Peterson returns to the 35-yard line. Tom Hanson makes the stop.
There you see Alan Peterson now. Clint Osborne missing that tackle there. Slowed up a little bit, and
Arlington went 70 yards in 11 plays.
Kevin Shepard tripping him up on the play. There you see Mark Morris cheerleaders, who have not given up in this one by any means. Though we're late in the third quarter and their team is down. Sam Tilton giving off now to Holland on the crossbuck, and he's got 4 or 5 out to the 39. Ken Gwynn made the tackle on the play. He's wearing number 78. Oh, there's two 78s in there. Okay, Norgard and Gwynn, and it's Gwynn, who's 270 and 6'4". Well, this time Arlington's drawn offside as John Hannon makes contact. He's a big guy, isn't he? Look at that guy, Larry.
He's huge. It's amazing, you know, for a guy that's that big and only a sophomore, he's a decent football player already. Most guys that well don't move that well, and we found out, and we underestimated him last week. He didn't think he'd have that much lateral ability to move, and he really surprised us. He dominated that line of scrimmage.
Second down and about a yard for Mark Morris. Alan Peterson on that crossbuck, and he bounces off a couple of tacklers and drags a couple to midfield for the first down. He's a good back.
It's crossbuck action.
Pulled that leg loose, and Alex Trevino, along with Chris Irwin, number 24, ride him down. Linebacker Don Peterson also helping out. Go Mark Morris is that sign that you see. And the Monarchs from midfield are going to try to do just that. This Northwest and Southwest Washington battle, and it goes to Alan Peterson, and he fails to gain.
Try to cut back against the flow that time, Doug, and there was just no hole there. He's having a frustrating night because we watched him last week, and if he has a little bit of running room, he can really open things up.
Frank Garrett, number 75, along with Don Peterson, number 42, making that last tackle. The end of the third quarter here in the AA championship game. And Arlington's Eagles have scored the last 35 points in this one and lead it by a score of 42-6. They've got 14 in each of the first three quarters. Great to see school spirit like that, down 42-6. The cheerleaders and the kids are still having a great time in the Kingdom. And obviously the Arlington fans across the way are thoroughly enjoying it. And the Eagle is soaring behind that Arlington bench. Here's Mark Morris trying to get it together here to start the fourth quarter. Tilton faking, giving to Poole. He's at the 48 to the 46-yard line on a second down and 10. Ramon Bechtel made the tackle on the play for Arlington as Coach Jim Cavaney is getting a lot of those reserves in the game. 4-yard gain, and it's second down, make it third down and 6. Sam Tilton, the quarterback for Mark Morris, has a slot right in Poole and fades to throw. They've got a big rush on him. Tilton does a good job of getting out of trouble. 45, 40, and down to the 38-yard line for a first down.
He did an excellent job of scrambling out of there.
About a 9-yard gain on the play for Sam Tilton. And Don Peterson, who's been all over the field, you'll see him now defensively, makes the tackle.
Shot linebacker through there and missed.
Peterson gets his man. Well, this one ought to be the Peterson Bowl. The 4 brothers Peterson for Arlington, and 2 more Petersons on the team, incidentally, and a cousin and no relation. And then the star of the Mark Morris team is a Peterson.
It's got to be a thrill for 4 brothers to play together.
It sure does. Got to be a thrill for the family, doesn't it?
That's right.
That was Holland, Rod Holland for No gain on the play. And whichever number 78 it is, that's the smaller of the two kids, Lance Norgard, who makes that tackle. Second down, 10. Tilton to pass. Sam looking, gonna run out of that pocket again. Now he's pitching, and it is almost intercepted. Intended for Bogner and overthrown a little bit. Russ Hollingsworth, 150-pound sophomore, had him, hit him. Sam doing a little dance there, now throws. Right in the numbers. Well, that sophomore will remember that.
I think he was looking at the receiver and didn't look at the ball.
With his team ahead 42-6, it's a great moment for him here in the Kingdome to be playing here. Third down 10 for Sam Tilton and Mark Morris. Pitches back to Peterson. He may throw the ball. He does. And it is incomplete on a lob pass at the 8-yard line intended for Van Zinten. And Eric, the 170-pound senior, could not run under it.
Alan Peterson, as a sophomore, was a quarterback on the JV team.
There you see him on the
running pass. So he can throw the ball.
It's 4th and 10, and Mark Morris, trailing in the game by 36, will throw the football, or at least go for it. Poole is in the slot right. Tilton looking.
Screen pass
in the
up.
flat now to Holland. 40, 35, and just shy of the first down at the 31-yard line. Well, that screen pass can be an effective play on long yardage situation. Watch Sam now faking the long one and then pitching it behind the convoy of blockers. Todd Kramer, number 76, is over there. Number 21, Max Jacobs turned the play in very well. And they turn the ball over to Arlington now, 1st and 10 at the Eagle 31-yard line. And timeout is taken by Arlington. They got a lot of reserves in the ball game, I think. Peterson decides to take a timeout and to talk to his coach across the way. Well, let's take a look at what happened here in the Kingdome earlier. In the A game, Omak beat Langley 7-6, and in the B11 game, Valley defended its state championship by topping unbeaten Cooley Heartline 19-6. The B8 game, I guess, was something else. 56-42 was the final. Touche beating Joyce, and 497 yards of offense by Joyce, 572 by the state champs. Wow. That's a final, all right. Quite a contrast to Omak's 7-6 win over Langley. Did you get much chance to see that game, Larry?
Yes, I watched both of them. It really was a contrast. I enjoyed that B8 game.
Here's Alskog, the fullback, for about 4.
Arlington must be well over 400 yards by now, Doug. Maybe close to 500.
Well, it's hard to tell from all my figures down there, isn't it? I got so many columns behind Alskog, Sears, and Peterson, I can't keep track of them all. Unofficially, I've got Alskog for 170 yards in 24 carries. He's now moved into Sears, Peterson, and Jacobs' columns, by the way. Here's Peterson going back now to recover his own fumble, and he's down at the 21-yard line. So that'll be a big loss off their yardage total of 15 yards.
I believe that's only the second time tonight they've been thrown for a loss.
And he drop kicked that one backward. And so it brings up 3rd and 20 for Arlington, whose Eagles have done almost everything right. 8:33 to go in the football game. Arlington with a commanding lead over Mark Morris. A couple of Cinderella teams here in the Kingdome. Jacobs in motion. Peterson to pass. It's Jacobs in the flat, and he is greeted by Poole, who's played a standout defensive game. On the 22-yard line, Rob's a 160-pound senior. Gain of a couple. There you see it. Poole is a sure tackler. It's the second catch of the day for Jacobs now for 13 yards. 4th down, 18 to go, and Mike Wold's in an unfamiliar spot today, punting. Oh, they're not going to do it. They snap it short to Alskog. He breaks the tackle at the 35-40, and he's got the first down almost unbelievably at the 44-yard line.
That was all on his own, Doug. He broke 2 or 3 tackles on that play. There he goes. 2 guys missing, 3 guys missing.
I got him for 191 yards unofficially now in the game.
Let's give it to him a couple more times, give him that 200.
Taking a look if I can find it at that Kingbowl record for yards rushing. I think it's a Burlington Edison player.
I believe so, Doug. Yes, I do.
Here's Sears.
I believe it was about 250 some.
Breckenridge, does that sound right? Sears,
yes.
Who recovers his own fumble and then turns it into a gain. Well, we're going to watch this one on replay because that's kind of a fun play to watch. Sears for 8 yards. You won't believe it after he drops the ball here. Just changing hands.
Right, changing hands, lost the ball.
And that's the way it bounces. Look at that.
When things are going well, they really go well.
Well, let's see if I can find Sears in all of this now. I've got him for 77 yards and 10 carries. 2nd and 3, Peterson to pass. Got his man, Jacobs. 20, 15, 10, 5, and the touchdown. A 50-yard pass play.
He sprinted his left and threw the backside post.
You want to watch it
his left, and the receiver's coming from the right down the middle.
You watch how open and running under it, Jacobs. ...209 yards is that record we're talking about by Breckenridge against Peninsula. And Hammermeister of Ellensburg had it against Stanwood in 1973 as well. So Alskog could break it as Wold tries to kick the point. And for the 7th consecutive time, he does so. You're going to watch it again. Jacobs' 3rd catch of the day for 63 yards and a TD. And it's all Arlington in the AA final. Well, Coach Lunke, after losing 24-23 to these Eagles last week of the semifinals, you have seen them in their finest hour here in the Kingdom.
Yes, we have. They played a great ball game.
Wold to kick off.
Mike Wold to kick off.
Wold's a very fine kicker.
It is not real deep, but very high, and Poole has it at the 17. Rod's got a gaping hole at the 30, and he is tripped up at the 36-yard line. Penalty flag is down. Don Peterson's the man who got one hand out there to trip him up, and I don't know how many times I've said Don Peterson on the tackle today. Penalty appears to be against Mark Morris, and the Monarchs certainly have not had things go well for them. Watch Poole. He's been kind of a shining light for Mark Morris in this game. Played gallantly. Look at that tackle by Peterson.
He's definitely one of the defensive stars today.
a 69-yard drive in 6 plays and took 3:09. The 50-yard pass play from Peterson to Jacobs. The touchdown maker, and it's at the 13-yard line after that penalty for clipping. First down and 10 at the 13. And time ticks by now as Mark Morris must fight its way 87 yards to the score. And Tilton fakes and gives up the middle for a couple three. Is that Peterson? No, it's Holland. Rod Holland. Mark Morris fans, despite the Arlington onslaught, Monarchs are proud of their team and happy to be in the Kingbowl. You can't get any further than the state championship game. Here's Peterson trying to turn the corner and does. 15, 20. Trying to cut back, and with a second effort, he's at the 26-yard line. Peterson perhaps will gain 100 yards in this one. He now has 96 unofficially in 13 carries. Now you get a good look at Allen. And they all hop aboard on that play.
Arlington's really did an excellent job, Jack, keeping him in check. No one else has been able to do that in the playoffs this year.
Arlington's got a lot of reserves in the game right now, and there's a give to Holland to the 30 and out to the 31-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play. Darren Peterson, one of the brothers, 130-pound sophomore, wearing number 64, makes the tackle. I'd like to give you the names of everybody in the Kingbowl, but I'll tell you this, almost everybody on that Arlington roster has been in there now. Dale Peterson, number 60, who's a cousin, is now coming to the game, the 5th Peterson that's been in the contest. Brian Peterson, who wears number 7, is no relation, but he also plays for Arlington. Here's Tilton back to pass, and he is going to be dumped for a loss on a 2nd and 7 situation. He loses about 8 yards. There you see Sam. And they've now dipped down into their roster, and number 71 makes the tackle, and he is not listed on the roster, or we're going to not be able to identify him. If I would guess, I'd say he's a Peterson. 3rd down, 15. Mark Morris with 4:05 to go, and the Monarchs trying to muster something. They managed to draw the defensive right guard, who is a Peterson, off. No, that's a Don Hansen. Excuse me. Well, there's 2 60s, so it might be a Peterson at that. Dale Peterson wears number 60, and Don Hansen wears number 60. Boy, the Scandinavians have been kind to Arlington, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
Dale Peterson is listed as the guard, 140-pound sophomore, so we'll assume it is Dale. Tilton back to pass. Getting time, pitching high and long. The man is there, and he's got it. That is Ted Campbell out across the 40 to the Arlington 31-yard line. You're going to see Ted Campbell haul in this 42-yard pass from Tilton. Sam back to throw as Chris Getz makes the tackle on the play. Sam's got plenty of arm. Campbell has to wait a second or so. Alex Trevino also hopping aboard there, along with John Kellogg, number 40. Tilton again, lots of protection. Pitching for Poole, honey of a catch at the 10-yard.
Great catch. He got hit just by the time he caught that ball.
I have really been impressed with the perseverance of Poole today, and he's shaken up on the play. He's given everything.
This is a great catch.
Watch Sam and watch.
He gets hit just about the time he catches the ball right there, and he hangs on the ball.
Tell you, he's got. Rob Poole has got what it takes. 160-pound senior for the Mark Morris Monarchs. 23-yard pass play.
Oh, looking at his leg, Doug.
Well, Poole is coming out of there. It appears to be the ankle, I would guess. It'll be 1st and goal for Mark Morris as they lend a helping hand to the ever-present Rob Poole. Carried a couple of times for 8 yards, caught a pass for 23 and a first down, and has played tremendously on defense. Tilton back to pass, looking for an opening and may run with it. At the 10, back to the line of scrimmage as far as he can go. 2:56 left in the game. Darren Peterson makes the tackle as Tilton can't find a receiver here on the replay.
Second down, goal at the 9.
Second down goal. Time ticking, 2.5 minutes left. Mark Morris would like to score a second TD as Mount Tahoma's Thunderbirds come out of their dressing room in their cardinal and gold. Clay Huntington will be Mike's side to tell you all about it as our Channel 13 cameras cover the AAA game. Here's Mark Morris, and Alan Peterson cannot catch it a yard deep in the end zone on a try for the TD. You're going to see it again, and Allen makes a good try here. Defended well by Alex Trevino. You see Alex leaping with Peterson as the 244s battle there at the goal line. Rogers of Puyallup and Mount Tahoma in an all-Pierce County AAA championship, and our cameras will follow that progress, so we'd like to invite you to stay tuned. A look at the Kingdome with high school fans enjoying the Preps Day in the sun, so to speak. And incidentally, Larry, with the weather outside today, I don't think we can begin to appreciate what it might have been to play the state championship a few years back here on this kind of a day.
I remember the first game they had in the Devil A was Ellensburg and Stanwood, and it just poured the whole day and the whole night.
Where was that one, Larry?
That was at Highline Stadium.
Ah, yes.
It's really nice to see the game being moved inside.
That was Jim Kickabush, the assistant coach at Mark Morris, who had to leave coaching because of a serious illness, who wanted so badly to be here today. And he's very, very proud of his kids for getting here. After that penalty, moves it back to the penalty, back to the 23?
Back to the 23.
And Tilton's back to pass. He's got his man. That's
nice
Campbell,
throw.
I believe, and he's into the end zone for the Mark Morris score. Ted Campbell for the touchdown as Tilton is on the money from the 23-yard line.
Campbell's down on the ground.
Campbell is hurt.
That's an excellent throw. The replay.
Here you see Tilton. Campbell between the two defenders. And unfortunately, dragged down in the end zone. Seemed to have that leg bend under him a little bit. 2:02 to go, and Mark Morris, in the true spirit of high school football, never giving up at all in this game, getting themselves a touchdown by Sam Tilton's 23-yard toss. 113 yards in passing now for Tilton on 4 completions in 11 carries. Campbell, incidentally, has caught 3 of those for 90 yards. You're looking at the Mark Morris Band, which has reason to be happy at the moment. The touchdown, and Campbell is up and under his own power. He has played splendidly on offense with those 3 fine catches. Was it Campbell who also intercepted one earlier? I think it was.
Yes, it was, Doug.
Arlington's, well, that's not Arlington's drive. We should say Mark Morris on the drive. 65 yards, 9 plays, and it took 4 minutes and 43 seconds against the Arlington Eagles. Mark Morris is going to go for 2. Tilton pitching to Alan Peterson. He's at the 5, and he races in for the 2-point conversion. So Arlington has a Peterson on, or I should say Mark Morris has a Peterson on their side also. And it's a 49-14 game as they get the 2-point conversion. Well, Larry, for the second time in 3 years, it appears that it'll be a Northwest Washington team for the championship. Last year you met Pullman, and where did the Northwest Washington team get sidetracked there? Was that Burlington Edison again?
No, it's Cedar Woolley, and we beat them in the quarterfinals. It was kind of, Burlington was a team last year only lost 1 game, and because they played one last game, Cedar Woolley was left home last year.
Here in the Kingdome, high school football in Kingbowl 3, and the fans love it. Arlington 49, Mark Morris 14 for the AA championship. Sam Tilton there, Mark Morris to kick off. There you see Rob Poole, who played so tremendously with that ice pack on his ankle, going to the dressing room and calling it a day. Here is Sam Tilton to kick it off. Onside try, and picking it off for the Arlington Eagles at the 40-yard line is Darrell Peterson. See that try there for a Mark Morris recovery, but a Peterson is there to get it. And Arlington's Eagles go on offense once more. At halftime, it was 28-6. And then Arlington made it 49-6 before Mark Morris has scored here in the second half. There is a fumble and a pileup on that snap as the quarterback for Arlington, that's Brett Davis, had trouble with the exchange. And they say Mark Morris has it. So Mark Morris is going to try to get on the board. Early in our telecast, Larry Lunke, who's the Peninsula High School coach, the defending state AA champions who just missed making it into the finals again, predicted this would be a high-scoring affair. And Larry, you're right.
I didn't pick it to be this lopsided.
No, it didn't appear it would be this lopsided. Arlington has played a tremendous game, and there you see Mark Morris getting the recovery of the fumble.
It's amazing what happens when you get in the playoffs. Arlington's a team that's playing by their finest hour of their year, and Mark Morris is probably a little bit disappointed right now.
Jay Stewart made that recovery for Mark Morris, and they're still in there pitching. Tilton back to throw. Tries to get away from the man, but cannot. Sam trying to throw that ball twice with a man hanging on him. Appeared to me it was number 26 for the Arlington Eagles, Chris Johnson. It was a 157-pound junior. Let's watch and see if it is. There's Sam Tilton now in the replay. Yep. He's got Sam in just the right spot, the left arm. You can't throw the ball if you're a southpaw, and Chris Johnson's got a hold of him. So, a Johnson and the Petersons for Arlington, as there are 6 Petersons on that Eagle roster.